dropped in and had a pretty good run and made a pretty big mistake. And when you make a mistake in the half pipe, you have to change your entire plan because suddenly you're going backwards when you should be going forward. So quickly, in about 2 seconds you have to cross the bottom of a half pipe, you have to make a new decision and a new choice. And so I fell after making my choice.
Come on, Critter!
Please cool back on the snowballs and use your hands to slap them together or beat on a banner. Make some noise for Canada's very own Crispin
I got the crowd going and the crowd got going, and that was really cool.
Regular Quitter hitting his frontside ball, starting it off big. Gotta love it. Crispin
So learning the new trick was confidence, but doing it in under that pressure and deciding to do it in a big contest is hard to do. But I decided to do that new trick, that backside 9. And when I stomped it, I was going into my last chance. This is my last second, and I wanted to get the win, so I tried the 1080. And tried is what happened.
And maybe it was good that I fell there. Because you know what, if I'd have won and I would have gone and won the X Games like Auntie, that wouldn't have been a very good experience. It probably wouldn't have got me anywhere in life. I'm sorry, I'm still a little bit bitter about, the whole thing.
I mean, if you look at it on paper, and if you were to bet on a horse, there was many Canadian horses that you could have bet on, that could have won. And yeah, I can actually understand that he was a bit disappointed because a lot of the, well...
Do the losing horses get to go to some nice pasture and get taken care of?
I think they get shot.
Ooh.
Well, coming in off the World Champs after a pretty weak result was not so hard, I guess, because I was riding really well. I had a bunch of new tricks, and I was charging. Started getting a lot of work. I was on the phone a lot and working with IMG and working with some sponsors and really getting a buzz out of just being at the top end of the snowboarding.
So I'm having a bit of a hard time keeping the dike down. So I went to Korea, and I ended up getting a second. And that's really, really cool. And then I went to Copper Mountain, Colorado, and I did the Gravity Games, and I won. I did a new run, my Olympic run, which I thought up of when I was in Korea. So I just did it, and I got it down, and I can do that again.
And the next day I was in New York City. It was my first big day out and first challenge and first adventure with the big bad media monster, launching an ad with McDonald's that they made for me.
And by the way, I think, Crispin, you have more air miles with those commercials than I actually have flying. So thanks.
Thank you very much. So thanks very much for having me here today.
Perfect. Now I'm going to go to work.
I needed a really good result to keep my spot on the national team, and I only had one chance left for it, so I had to go for it. Putting that kind of pressure on myself actually worked. I changed my run up and actually did the run that I was hoping to land at some point that year. I thought I rode a lot better in the qualifying, but that's when the pressure was totally on. At that point, I made the finals. I knew I had my top 12, and it was a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere. Now, the one thing that I really need to and want to step up for next year is that there won't be a relaxed atmosphere anymore. Every run is going to have to be that one that could win it.
So I get docked points for that?
Yeah.
For doing a Crippler 5, I get docked.
No, maybe you land
I worked hard to win nationals the year before, and Dan and I qualified first and second, and I didn't want to get second.
Who calls it a what?
The contest is cancelled. The contest is cancelled. The contest is cancelled.
What'd you say?
The contest is cancelled.
English.
So we have a snow day at work today. It's just like at school, you know. You listen to the radio. You listen for your school to be called. You're waiting to hear your school. Bam! Glen Tape Pub School closed for snow day. Whoop whoop. See, now we get to watch curling.
Go, Robin! Robin!
I wouldn't have minded to compete in the snow. I usually do pretty well when there's snow in the bottom of the pipe, but whatever. I have a feeling it'll snow harder tomorrow, so. So it's been almost exactly a year since my knee surgery from last year's nationals, and I'm really looking forward to this contest. I'm riding better than before my knee injury. Watch out, Crispin. They just canceled the Canadian National Championships finals.
Just a little bit of fog.
Yeah, Dan!
Podium.
Our national champion once again, Crispin Lipscomb. And now will everybody hums the national anthem? All right, let's get a big round of applause for our national champions here.